Hello there, Carin Rockind here with a little purposeful message all about love, what I am calling conscious coupling. And that's because, big news, I am getting married. So it's been 13 years since my divorce and lots of life lessons. And in that time, I have realized not just what I wanted in a partner, but more importantly, I realized what I needed. And so I want to share with all of you what I have learned about how to be intentional, how to be purposeful, how to be conscious in love. So when I got married at the ripe age of 22, my engagement was all about planning a wedding, and it was fabulous. I wore the big, huge ball gown, and my mom and I planned every detail to the tablecloths and the flowers, and there were 200 people, and it was black tie, and it was big, and it was beautiful, and I loved every second of it. I felt like a princess. But just a few months into our marriage, we actually first used the word divorce, and just 3 short years later, we ended up splitting. And the reason for that is that once we found ourselves married, we suddenly realized that we had never talked about how to manage finances. We had never talked about holidays and family and lots of details. We had never been conscious. We weren't being intentional about what we each needed in a relationship and how we would interact with family and community as a couple. And what I have learned is that being a couple is not just about each person loving the other person. It's beyond love. It's respect and admiration and really cherishing that person. And then it goes beyond the other person. When we are consciously coupling, it's not just me and him or you and her or whomever. It's also about who we are as a couple with our family, who we are as a couple with our community. It's the commitment we make to the world on a broader level. And so I want to share with you a few lessons I learned in conscious coupling. And, one of the most important was I really had to know me first, right? So it's been 13 years. And in those 13 years, I have traveled the world, and I've had lots of hookups and lots of long-term relationships. And I've moved cities, and I left corporate America and started this business and followed my passion because I really had to understand what are my core values, right? So, I wanted, and that gets me to number 2, which is really knowing who you need as a partner. So, I talk to a lot of women, and their checklist for a partner all looks the same. It's like, I want him to be handsome, and I want him to be, tall, and I want him to be successful, and blah, 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 blah. And I'll tell you, I listened to all these checklists, and they're exactly the same. And they're the same as what my checklist had been too. And I had all of that by the time I was 24. And yet I cried every day. And so it's a question of, well, how could that have happened? Well, it happened because rather than just thinking of a fairy tale and what I thought would be great, now I really know me, and I know what I actually need in a partner. I need someone who grounds me. I need someone who uplifts me, who believes in me. I need someone who finds it adorable and wants to participate in all of my little quirks. I need someone who really listens and who wants to truly communicate. I need, right? And I understand now, rather than that kind of checklist, my checklist for finding this man was, I want to feel adored. I want to feel cherished for who I am and what my soul is all about. And I want to feel heard. And I want someone who delights in my quirks. And so I want you to have that kind of checklist. Oh, there's a train coming by. I also realized that he and I have to be very conscious about how we couple. And we talk about everything. We discuss how we're going to discuss things. Because inevitably, no matter how in love you are, crap is still going to happen, right? You're going to have bad days and difficult situations in life. So being conscious about that before you truly couple, before you get married, is so important. And so he and I are spending this time, we have started planning a wedding, and it'll be beautiful and all that. But more importantly, what we're really doing right now, beyond planning a wedding, is we're preparing for a marriage. And it feels really good. And that's what I want to leave you with. May you in your love, in your life, be conscious. May you be purposeful.